Hey guys, it's me, Rich. Something unusual is happening right now in America's courts, and it directly affects you. Even liberal justices are abandoning one of their own, while lower court judges openly defy the Constitution and the court's ruling. But what you'll soon find out is that this isn't just legal disagreement. It's lawfare on life support, and it's about to collapse right in front of us. We're going to break down Justice Jackson's lonely crusade, Trump's undeniable wins, and why the activist bench is losing control. You'll see exactly how the system is cracking and why it matters for your future. Let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So look, if you like our videos already and you haven't done so, you should become a subscriber to the channel. You can hit the notification bell, smack the like button because it helps get our message out to more people. And also, you'll be notified every time we put a new video out. It's a win-win. And thank you. Something unusual is happening in our courts. Even liberal justices on the Supreme Court are stepping away from one of their own, while activist judges on the lower courts keep pushing the limits. Now, what we're watching is not just politics, guys. It's lawfare on steroids. And it looks ready to collapse. Here's the thing. If even the court's most loyal liberals are distancing themselves, then you know something's breaking. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson, usually seen as a reliable progressive vote, is suddenly all alone. In her latest dissent, which she writes herself, she accused the court of playing Calvin ball. That's a kid's game from Calvin and Hobbes, where the rules constantly change. Like no game can have the same rules. So she directed that outrage at the court's ruling to let the Trump administration cut $783 million in NIH grants that were tied to DEI programs. Now they ruled that way because the Constitution says that the president has that authority. But don't try to tell that to Justice Jackson, who is in fact herself a DEI hire. Of that, there is no question. You don't believe me? Just give this a watch.
People. But let me say a few words about the critically important work of selecting his successor. Choosing someone to sit in the Supreme Court, I believe, is one of the most serious constitutional responsibility a president has. Our process is going to be rigorous. I will select a nominee worthy of Justice Breyer's legacy of excellence and decency. While I've been studying candidates' backgrounds and writings, I've made no decision except one. The person I will nominate will be someone with extraordinary qualifications, character, experience, and integrity. And that person will be the first Black woman ever nominated to the United States Supreme Court.
He just said that the qualifications would include gender and race? I thought he was a member of the civil rights movement. And here's the twist that no one can ignore. Not a single justice joined her. Not Sotomayor, not Kagan. Certainly not the conservatives on the court, because they actually believe in the Constitution. Jackson is writing dissents that sound more like stump speeches than serious legal reasoning. Amy Coney Barrett didn't just disagree. She went in hard, saying Jackson's position was at odds with more than 2 centuries of judicial precedent, not to mention the Constitution itself. Now, that wasn't polite disagreement, guys. That was a smackdown. And that tells you everything you need to know. When even the justices who usually march in lockstep with the left refuse to sign on, you know how weak the argument is. But Jackson doesn't care. She just goes out there and blurts the dumb. This wasn't a clash of legal philosophies, guys. It was one justice swinging wildly while everyone else quietly stepped back. Jackson thought she was landing a punch. What she actually did was remind the country just how far out on the fringe she really is. While activist judges pound the table, Trump is busy reshaping the economy for the better. Remember the warnings that tariffs would wreck everything? Well, they didn't. Billions are flowing into the country, right? American manufacturing is up. The stock market is breaking records. Even critics who spent years mocking Trump are starting to admit he may have known what he was doing all along. Think about it. That's the real split here. A president delivers results while judges scramble to block him. These lower court district judges. Here's another thing. What happens when judges push so far that even their own allies refuse to play along? On one side, judges treat the courtroom like it's a stage. All the world's a stage for them. On the other side, a president focused on results for the country and for the American people that you can actually measure. Jobs, growth, investment. The difference couldn't be clearer, guys. And it's exactly why the left is panicking right now. They can't win on outcomes, so they try to win in court. Democrats have always done that. The Democrats right now are out of all power, predominantly because of their own behavior over the last 4 years. People don't trust them anymore, and they never should again. And so they're getting these Jacobins in black robes to do their dirty work for them. Illegally, of course, because it's lawfare. During Trump's second term, so far, district judges have issued 79 nationwide injunctions. That's more than half of all injunctions in American history, and 92% of them came from Democrat appointees. A dozen judges even told NBC News, anonymously, of course, because they're a bunch of cowards, that they were upset the Supreme Court wasn't helping them to stop Trump. Think about how insane that is. Judges admitting they expect partisanship. They aren't even pretending to be neutral anymore. The conservative justices aren't ignoring it. Gorsuch and Kavanaugh reminded everyone that lower courts can disagree, but they can't defy Supreme Court rulings. I mean, keep pushing and they could face contempt or even removal from the bench. The Supreme Court already ruled 6-3 that federal district judges don't have the power to issue nationwide injunctions blocking presidential orders. Yet some are still doing it, practically daring the court to slap them down. In recent weeks, Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch has openly called out the lower court judges for what he sees as outright defiance of Supreme Court's rulings, especially those delivered through the emergency shadow docket. His comments stirred up controversy and drew a defensive response from some federal judges. On August 25th, in a concurring opinion tied to a case over terminated National Institutes of Health research grants, Gorsuch faulted lower court rulings for failing to respect Supreme Court precedent. He was joined by Justice Brett Kavanaugh. Gorsuch said, "Lower court judges may sometimes disagree with this court's decisions, but they are never free to defy them. Yet, Jackson keeps insisting the court is giving Trump a wrecking ball to destroy the administrative state. But the truth is, no one is listening to her. She's isolated. Her arguments aren't landing. And her dissents read like talking points from cable pundits." And that's the problem for Jackson, guys. She keeps swinging, but the hits never land. The majority aren't buying it. Her colleagues aren't backing her, and the public is tuning her out. That's why she's getting frustrated. You ever read some of her opinions? What was supposed to be a show of strength has turned into a string of lonely speeches. It's less about law and more about theater, and the audience has already left the building. It's not what a Supreme Court justice is supposed to do when on the bench. This is more than just another legal battle or even a debate between the left and the right. It's a constitutional crisis driven by activist judges who think that they can overrule 77 million American voters. While they're losing, their lawfare is breaking down, and in its place, a new conservative age is forming. Judicial activism on the left is falling apart. Trump's policies are advancing, and it's happening because people like you refuse to roll over. Yes, you who voted for Trump. You are why all these great things are happening. So here's the real question. Is Justice Jackson writing herself out of relevance? And what should happen to lower court judges who openly defy the Supreme Court? Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Look, at the end of the day, Jackson's lonely dissents and the lower court's reckless defiance aren't signs of strength. They're proof of desperation. The system is correcting itself. Conservative principles are advancing for the Constitution. And you're seeing the results in jobs growth and security. That's the bright side. Lawfare is crumbling, and America is stronger and rising because of it. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.